I'm Dominik, and today I'm here to walk you through my recent service mesh benchmarking journey, where I benchmarked Istio, Istio Ambient, and of course, why we are here, Linkerd. All right. I'm a software engineer. I also happen to be a Linkerd ambassador. You can reach out to me on the Linkerd Slack at Dominik, or just stop me anywhere you see me in the next few days. The background of my whole presentation is the 2021 benchmarking of Linkerd and Istio, where the two were compared on a few different request rates. There's a nicely written blog post posted by William. I can recommend you to check it out. It's quite a long read, but it's definitely worth it. But since 2021, lots of things have happened. The sidecarless service mesh architecture has appeared, but of course, sidecars are here to stay. That could be a topic on its own, of course. Zero trust security is more important than ever. Now we have compliance releases because in some industries, compliance to some standards are required. I'm talking about FIPS, for example. The service mesh market now has a 41% compound annual growth rate, and service mesh adoption is at an all-time high, according to a survey conducted by the CNCF, where 70% of the responders reported that they are already using a service mesh. So yeah, great times. The test harness for my benchmarks, I use the GKE cluster and the WRK2 to run my tests. The cluster and the deployments were reinstalled between each run, and of course only MTLS was enabled except for Istio Ambient, where I even enabled the waypoint proxy to have layer 7 processing to make it fair. I ran the tests at 20, 200, and 2000 requests per second. I then recorded the median P90, P95, and P99 latencies. And it's worth mentioning that the traffic is north-south traffic, so that's why the numbers in my benchmarks are marginally higher than the ones in the blog post. I use the Emoji Voto application. It has 3 microservices. They use gRPC to communicate. And of course, it's worth noting that these are relative results. So my results are the function of my test environment and the service mesh. So you probably won't get the same results. But if you do, I will buy you a drink. And so let's cut to the chase. At 20 requests per second, there's not much to say because everything is pretty much close to baseline, except for Istio with this sidecar having a little spike at P99. So yeah, I will just continue with 200 requests per second, where you can already see a trend emerging that's pretty much same to the one in 2021. So both Istio Ambient and Linkerd is close to baseline, just a few millisecond difference. And of course, Istio with the sidecar is getting a lot worse, but of course not as much as if we move on to 2000 requests per second. And it's worth mentioning that the difference between Linkerd, Istio Ambient, and the sidecar-enabled Istio is a lot smaller than the one back in 2021. So, of course, they took their time and improved their product, so even that one got better. The waypoint enabled Istio is, or not waypoint, sorry, ambient enabled Istio is pretty much close to Linkerd, but Linkerd still performs slightly better, and that's with a sidecar, of course. So, and Istio Ambient only has the waypoint in front of the deployments. And what does this mean for the future? And the conclusion, we currently have a nice and healthy competition between service meshes and lots of diverse options to choose from, so it's not really dominated by one product. And the performance gap is getting closer and closer, so of course this means that vendors now have to focus on features a lot more and not just brute force for performance improvements. For example, mesh expansion for Linkerd, and now that we referring back to Alex's talk, and and industry-specific offerings. So now we have lots of compliance issues nowadays, and that's why even the previously mentioned compliant and compliance releases are important, because we of course have a product that touches network traffic, and nothing's more important than that. And now it's a great time to be a service mesh adopter. So if you haven't done so yet, I encourage you to check out service meshes and of course hopefully Linkerd. And thank you so much.